Yeah, we are back with a bit of an announcement. Well, actually, I think most people are already aware of this, but we're over at the BMX Streets Instagram account. We have an official release date for BMX Streets on Xbox. It is October 31st, and just looking at this trailer, it appears like it's all the kind of built-in maps, but we've got some new ones around here which we haven't seen before, so it may be suggesting that we'll be getting a few new maps along with this release. So this map appears to be new. Yeah, this one right here. I think Rotex, pretty much all Rotex maps, or somebody else makes them and Rotex kind of polishes them off. This is the high school. It's the conservatory. We've got the spillway coming back. I can't remember the name of this one, but it's been in there for a while, so you got all your dirt needs met, hopefully anyway. Ah, yeah. This is that kind of grayed off area that's in the test map. It looks like it's been built up properly with textures and everything. This is actually a really nice place to ride. So I'm looking forward to seeing this all textured up properly. It looks like it may be two new maps. There's that kind of street one that we saw and also the ramp one, or it could be one big map. But yeah, October 31st is the actual release date. So I think we saw all of these in the trailer. And then presumably there'll be two more or one more, depending on how it's put together. So you'll get 5 base maps. And then Mod.io. Actually, if somebody who's played Scoot X on Xbox can confirm, how many of these maps actually got through to Xbox? Are all of them available, or are some of them not actually there for different reasons? Because that's going to be a big thing. The ability to have all the mod maps that are the same as the PC version will be important for a lot of people. Because, yeah, if you have a PC, then you're going to be limited to some degree. The only problem is I don't have an Xbox to actually check myself how it works. But if all the Mod.io maps are there, you do get a hell of a lot. So you should be pretty satisfied when it comes to that sort of stuff. And one of the big things to be aware of is I use modded clothing. This is actually something from the One Eye Vault. One was kind enough to make me this skin. And also 1 or 2 outfits to go along with it. The pants are actually just openly available to anybody. But even then, none of that stuff is on Mod.io. So you may be limited to like the pro characters that are in the game. And there's no option to change clothing, so I get the feeling a lot of people are going to moan about that. You know, for good reason. Like, it is nice to have the ability to change up your stuff, but it's just kind of a limitation of console, I guess. There's a lot of brand related things, like this clothing is not going to work because it's got a branded logo on it, and they're definitely not going to allow that to get through. Casual little front flip. So yeah, Upward Forest, this one right here, it's kind of been a classic for a long time. Well, same with all of Rotex's maps. They're all very good. They're going to look amazing, at the very least. And seeing as it got through certification, it's hopefully not going to be too buggy. Though this game is somewhat jank, whatever you do. I think we're all kind of used to that. And Pipe was also jank at the same time. Thinking about it, a lot of the grind stuff's actually like working pretty good. I noticed that when I did a previous video as well. I was trying to take some clips. For the most part, a lot of these tricks seem to be in a complete enough state. Things have been in flux for quite a while. Like, some things work, some things don't. Right now, at the very least, okay, screwed that up. We seem to be in a good place, or good enough. And hopefully it will evolve a bit more over time as well. So just zipping around all the maps to give you an idea of what to expect. I'll cover this one a hell of a lot as well at this point. But this is a really solid map to play. It's kind of the base map that you go to if you just want a quick session, I think, for a lot of people. Well, outside of the mod maps. If you're wondering what's going on with the pants as well, that's the thing with the modded clothing. It's something to do with the textures on the floor. They kind of like overlap. Don't know what that grind was. And of course, right now we do have the mod menu as well, so a lot of this stuff... Actually, I didn't even know about this. Multiplayer or Mutley player has automatic settings. Okay, so I can actually choose the region without using a VPN. I always had to use a VPN because I was in Japan and nobody plays around here. So actually I should just set this to US or EU. And I might actually see some people to play with. When it comes to Xbox, I'm not entirely sure how that will work. Will multiplayer work in exactly the same way? Will there be any crossover? Now we're at Jammer's Skate House. This is kind of a good way to test out like flat 360s and those sort of things feel like. Actually, I've noticed it's flattening you out a lot more, like automatically. Yeah. There's something interesting going on with that. Like halfway through the flip, it would kind of readjust you back to the ground again. So I'm probably going to have to get used to that all over again. It's been changing like on and off for quite a while. It's hard to know what it's going to be most of the time. Nice. Yeah. This map is a ton of fun. Spent plenty of time on this one as well. All of the base maps are really solid. I guess if we get the spillway back as well, you kind of get some of that old Streets 1.0 vibe back in the game. We'll maybe see that come in increments. I also remember seeing, it was quite a while ago, mentioned that there was like a bunch of different built-in maps being worked on like at the same time. So there may actually be more coming out upon release. We don't know for sure. I guess the spillway was in the trailer, so that could be there as well. So potentially it could be like 2 or 3 maps. And that's good for PC players as well, because it means, well, more for us and everybody. Okay, yeah, I could just play around here forever. Taste it. Overall, I was just going to say the physics feel pretty solid, like no real issues at the minute. Then I screwed up. But yeah, overall, it's not actually feeling too bad. There's no weird jank going on. Anything that I'm screwing up is mostly user error on my part. Yep, transition stuff feels smooth. Hopefully we're in a pretty good place. What was that? Or when it releases. Yeah, we're ending it off with a little bit of tit. Because, why not? One thing is the PlayStation people will be probably thinking, well, what about us? Unfortunately, it seems like Sony's a bit more strict when it comes to their requirements and just the general process involved to get things over on their end. I think the timeline given was about 6 months. So maybe doubtful that it will be released this year on PlayStation. Maybe in the spring or end of winter next year. It's kind of the timeline we can hope for. But again, when it comes to console, there are going to be some limitations in terms of the modding capabilities. If you want the full experience and being able to do anything you want, PC will always be the best option for you. But that's the same with any game. It's just the way it's always going to be, regardless. But yeah, hopefully as me yapping away while also trying to ride, it shows. Now, the game's in a pretty good place. It looks good. Feels pretty good. I'm not having any real issues right now. If you just want to do some realistic looking tricks, or just go wild, both sides are covered pretty good. It's just going to be nice not having people stressing about when the console version releases, while still we have PlayStation to come, so it's still going to go on for a little bit. But we are getting there very slowly. And that is all I have to say, really. As we get close to release, or after the release, I'll probably do some videos on like recommended settings and things like that. If you want to have the game look a bit like what I'm doing right now, get it feeling just right. Nice to have a base to work from and then adjust from there. Same with any other game, I think. But yeah, that will all come in time. And yeah, that's about it. Hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of what to expect. Maybe more things announced as well. Oops. We'll cover that as it happens, if he announces anything. Yeah. Plenty more to come. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.